I would say research the area.
Research your area.
Don't underestimate building costs.
Seek professional advice.
Be ready to jump when you find the right one.
What's your top insider tip for people buying in France in 2023?
Well, I don't underestimate building costs, because I think a lot of people come and they think, well, we're going to do a little bit of renovation, we're going to do a little bit of cosmetic. But since obviously the Ukraine and things like that, building materials have become really expensive. The prices of the properties are really cheap. And so you imagine that everything's going to be cheap, and it's not. It's just the price of the property. So my tip would be to really do your research and find out the costs if you are looking at any type of renovation or even cosmetic.
Because as we know, there's a massive cost squeeze at the moment. Everything's getting more expensive. It's more expensive in the UK as well as in France. So we talked to a few people about general cost prices, just where the cost points are at the moment in France, and whether the house they're looking at is in fact renovatable with the budget they've got.
And what would your top tip be for people buying in 2023?
Research your area. Make sure you're happy with the area. You know, it can offer you everything that you're looking for in terms of the lifestyle that you want. If it's a holiday home or a permanent move, you know, look at transport links. You know, make sure it's just going to give you everything you want.
France is massive, biggest country in Western Europe, and so you could be miles from a town or a city. And one of my tips used to be was pick the city that you like, whether that's Bordeaux or Angoulême or wherever. Draw a half-an-hour circle around it, and then you know, particularly if you need things like hospitals, depending on your age and things like that, if you're going to need to go into a city for not rural locations, it is all. If you're an hour away, it's just that little bit too far. So going around big towns or cities is another good idea.
That's a really good tip.
Yeah.
I would say research the area. Make sure that you're really happy with it in all the seasons, not just in the summer.
Very good.
Visit in the winter, because lots of towns close down in the summer months, in the winter months, and so you know you might be left, if you're living there permanent, you might be left with no restaurants open or anything else, because they're touristy towns. So if you love it in the winter, you're going to absolutely love it in the summer.
What are your top 3 tips for property buyers?
Seek professional advice. Plan it early enough, and then act on it.
Yeah, talk to your agent to make sure they can give you advice. Like today, we've been given advice on schools over there, because we know the school system. You know, people are worried about moving over with children. Try and get as much information as you can on the area, on the property market, so you know prices of properties, the style that you can get. Yeah, and just use your agent as much as you can. You know, we if you give us a criteria, we can really help. You know, you find that right property and really hone your search, really.
Make sure that you're aware that the contract is actually negotiable and that you can have conditions inserted in it if you want the seller to rectify certain things.
Considering sort of cash up front for notaire fees and things like that.
Yeah, making sure you've got all the requisite funds available.
Yeah.
I think that's sensible.
What I'm saying to most clients now is actually, if you're in a situation to buy, is to actually don't necessarily jump on the first property, but be ready to jump when you find the right one.